We'll start out seated for this practice, setting our intention. Crossing the legs, finding a comfortable seat. We'll rest the hands on the knees. Closing the eyes. Inhaling, finding the breath. Taking your inhale up to the crown of the head. Exhaling into the base of the spine. Inhale to feel the ribcage expand. Exhale to press out the whole breath. Setting an intention for your practice. Bowing your head to your chest to seal it. We'll blink the eyes open. Taking the knees together, we'll start on the back. Releasing onto the back, taking the knees up into the chest. Breathing here. Every inhale, feeling the belly fill with air, letting the knees release away from the chest. Creating extra space. On your exhale, hugging the knees in, pressing the breath out. Inhale, release. Exhale to hug in. Keeping the right knee into the chest. We'll inhale to let the left leg come down the length of the mat, letting it set down. Exhale to bring the left knee back into the chest. Inhale, right leg long. Exhale, right knee to the chest. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, back in. Inhale, right leg. Exhale to come back in. Taking a breath with both knees to the chest. After your exhale, rocking from head to tailbone, we'll rock up to a tall seat. Hugging the hands to the front of the knees. Inhaling to take the chest forward, shoulders back towards a cow spine. Exhale to round forwards towards a cat spine. Inhale, forwards to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to come back to a neutral spine. Legs come together. We'll rock forwards. Coming onto hands and knees. Keeping the core stable, we'll keep shoulders and hips strong. Inhaling to take the right hand forwards. Arm can be up to shoulder height. Exhale to set back down. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Flexing the foot, pressing back, long through fingertips and foot. Exhale to set down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale to come down, finding our balance in the spine. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale to set down, keeping the hands and knees into the ground. After your exhale, we'll inhale forwards to cow, reaching heart forwards. Exhale, rounding to cat. Inhale to cow. Tucking the toes, pressing the hips back to a down dog. Knees can stay bent, keeping the spine long. Arms an extension of the spine. Tailbone tipping up. Starting to pedal the feet, pressing one heel down, bending opposite knee, working through both sides. On your exhale, pressing back through both hips, both heels. Inhale to take the gaze out to the top of the mat, walking the feet forwards into a forward fold. Letting the weight tip towards the toes, head can hang, knees bending, maybe setting the torso on top of the thighs. Crossing the arms, nodding the head yes, shaking it no. On your exhale, hands come back down to the ground. Inhale to a half lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, we'll step back to plank or kneeling plank. Exhale to lower down onto the ground. Inhale to low cobra, chest reaches open. Exhale, hands around the rib cage, pressing up and back to a down dog. Taking 2 breaths. After your exhale, inhale to come up to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to raise the arms, taking hold of the right wrist, reaching up and over to the left side. Hips can come out to the right. Exhale to the middle. Inhale, left hand up and over, keeping shoulders open. Exhale to center. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, stepping back to plank or kneeling plank. Exhale to lower onto the ground. Inhale to low cobra, shoulders reach back. Exhale, hands around the rib cage, pressing up and back to a down dog. Taking 2 breaths. After your exhale, inhale to raise the right leg up to 3-legged dog. Exhale to take the knee high into the chest, keeping shoulders reaching forwards. Inhale, raise. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, left leg raises. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, high. Exhale to down dog. Taking a breath. On your inhale, coming up to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, closing the eyes, taking a breath. On your inhale, arms raise. Exhale, fold, planting the hands. Inhale, right leg steps back to runner's lunge. Exhale, back knee sits down. Inhale, arms raise up overhead, reaching right hip forwards. On your exhale, hands come down onto the ground. Leaving the left heel, we'll walk the hands back, reaching left leg long. Hips reaching back to the right heel, keeping spine, head towards the toes. After your exhale, inhale to walk the hands forward, bend into left knee, we'll plant the right hand. Opening up left arm to the ceiling, arms long, chest open. One more inhale. Exhale, both hands come down around the front foot. Inhale, back knee up, sweeping left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale to down dog. Breathing here. On your inhale, coming up to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold, planting the hands. Inhale, left leg steps back, runner's lunge. Exhale, back knee down onto the ground. Inhale, arms raise overhead, keeping heart forwards. Breathing into the left hip. Inhale, long arms. Exhale, hands down around the front foot. Leaving the right heel, we'll walk the hands back, right leg long. Taking head towards the toes, right hip reaches back. After your exhale, inhale to bend into the right knee, planting the left hand on the ground. Opening up a right arm to the ceiling, chest open. Gaze can come up to the top hand if it feels okay. Exhale, both hands down around the front foot. Inhale, back knee off, reaching right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale to down dog. Taking 2 breaths, even hips, pressing the chest back. After your exhale, knees come down onto the ground. Coming back into a child's pose, arms reaching out in front. Forehead can stay on the ground. We'll drag the fingertips underneath the palms, stretching the wrists up to the ceiling, making a tent with the hands. Taking a fist, gentle with both hands. Rocking out to the pinky finger side, rolling, taking a few circles in both directions, across all knuckles, back over to the thumb, and reaching over to the pinky finger, coming through the heel of the hand, gently to both sides. Taking the hands back into the ground. Active arms will inhale forwards to cow. Exhale, rounding to cat. Inhale to cow. Tucking the toes, exhale back to a down dog. Taking a breath. On your inhale, coming up to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms raise. Exhale, stepping back with the right foot, opening up to the side, toes stay in front of the heels. Hands down to the hips, taking a long spine. Exhale to hinge forwards, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Hands can release down to the ground, keeping the head loose, tipping the weight forwards onto the ball of the foot, making sure knees aren't locked back. After your exhale, inhale to come up to a half lift, planting right hand, open left arm to the ceiling, arms long, trying to keep the low back stable, bringing the twist into the upper back. Exhale to fold, taking a breath in the middle, even legs. Inhale back up to a half lift, planting left hand. We'll open right arm to the ceiling, stack shoulders, reaching arms away from one another. Exhale to fold. Breathing here. On your inhale, coming up to a half lift, taking weight into the hands. We'll walk the feet together. Coming down onto the knees. We'll let the hips sit back. Coming into a wide leg seat. Hands behind the hips, reaching the spine long. Exhale to walk the hands forwards, keeping knees and toes stretched up towards the ceiling. Letting the hips go with every exhale. After your exhale, inhale to come back up, taking the right foot into the left thigh. Opening the chest to the left leg. We'll walk the hands down on either side, taking the hands behind the knee, the calf, ankle, or foot. Reaching the head towards the toes, letting elbows release down, using the weight of the arms to take the head a little farther away from the hips. After your exhale, inhale to walk back up, switching sides, right leg long, left foot into the right thigh. Opening chest to right leg, we'll walk the hands down. Finding their spot to land, keeping the head reaching towards the toes. On your inhale, walking the hands back up. We'll take the knees together, spinning around to face the top of the mat. We'll come into a forearm plank with just a few breaths, making sure the elbows are forearm width apart, grabbing onto each one. We'll take the hands out in front, walking the legs back. We'll press the feet into the ground, taking as much weight into the legs as we have in the arms, letting chest release down, shoulders wide, keeping the tailbone tucked under. Strong front of the body, breathing here. You can sit the knees down if you'd like. Making sure we're actively drawing the knees in towards the elbows, pressing in to keep the hips up. Exhale to release down onto the ground. Coming into a Sphinx pose. Elbows in front of shoulders, reaching shoulders back. On your exhale, coming down onto the ground, taking one cheek to the mat, holding both hands stacked above the tailbone. On your inhale, reaching the right arm forwards, up by the ear. We'll take the gaze out in front, left leg raises. So opposite arm, opposite leg again. Exhale to take the right cheek to the ground, setting down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, left cheek sets down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, right cheek. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, left cheek. Releasing the hands down on either side of the hips, raising up even through both sides to a locust pose. Heels draw up to the middle, shoulders back. Exhale, down. Taking the body over to one side of the mat to roll onto the back. Keeping feet about hip width. We'll reach the arms out to the sides. Picking the hips up towards a bridge pose. We'll sit the hips up and over to the right side. Taking the knees up above the hips so that the hips are over to the right of the shoulders. Letting the knees come down to the left side, gaze to the right hand. Breathing into the low back. Keeping the right side of the body long, pressing the hip away from the shoulder. On your exhale, engage the core, pressing left hand in to bring the knees back up. Taking the feet down, we'll bring hips up and into the middle. Stacking knees above hips, we'll take the knees into the chest for a breath. Taking the knees down onto the ground or feet down onto the ground, we'll reach the arms wide. Picking up the hips, setting them up and over to the left side. Knees above the hips, letting the knees fall to the right, gaze to the left. Breathing into left hip and low back, letting the shoulders release towards the ground. After your inhale, exhale to draw the knees back up. Letting the feet set down, we'll take the feet up into the middle, hugging the knees into the chest, breathing here. Letting the right foot set down onto the ground. We'll take left footprint up towards the ceiling, taking hands around the back of the leg, circling with left ankle gently into both sides. Crossing the left ankle over the top of the right leg, pressing left knee away from the chest, coming into our figure 4 on the back, taking right leg into the chest. Left knee presses away as we continue to bring the right knee towards the chest. On your exhale, right foot comes down, taking left foot down with it. We'll stretch right footprint up towards the ceiling, hands around the right leg, circling with the right ankle into both sides. Releasing right ankle, cross it over the left thigh, pressing right knee away. Left leg comes up into the chest. Breathing here. On your exhale, taking the left foot back down. Right foot down with it, releasing hands on either side of the hips. On your inhale, coming up to a bridge pose, curling the tailbone up, reaching hips high. Breathing here, keeping hips raised. And exhale, rolling the spine back down, letting tailbone set down last. Hugging the knees up into the chest. Taking the knees wide, staying here with the elbows, shoulders released to the sides, or coming into a happy baby if you'd like. Letting shoulders reach back. On your exhale, taking the soles of the feet together. Outside edges of the feet come down onto the ground, letting the knees release to the sides. Hands can rest on the stomach or on either side of the hips. Breathing here. Letting the low back adjust, finding its space. After your exhale, taking the knees together. Taking any other poses that you'd like, anything else you need to feel your most comfortable for Shavasana. And when you're ready, releasing the legs down the mat, letting toes fall wide, Hands can rest down on either side of the hips. Taking the breath into heart center. As you inhale, feeling the chest rise. As you exhale, feel the space between the shoulder blades sink into the ground. Feeling where the shoulders and the hips rest. Breathing into the throat center, the elbows and the knees. Taking your awareness to the ankles, the wrists, the point between the eyes. Breathing into the crown, the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes. Keeping your awareness at these outermost points of the body, the crown, the fingers, and the toes. Bringing them back into the ankles, the wrists, the third eye center. To throat center, the elbows and the knees. To the hips, the shoulders, and to the heart center. Keeping the breath here for the next few moments. Taking your awareness back into the heart center. Feeling the chest rise. Feeling where the head, the shoulders, the arms rest. Taking your awareness into the navel center. Feeling the belly rise. Where the hips, the legs press into the ground. Taking your awareness into the hands and the feet. Being aware of the fingers and the toes. Starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bending the ankles and the wrists. Letting the head rock from side to side. Bending the elbows. Starting to take the knees up into the chest, hugging the knees in. Breathing here. With the eyes closed, rolling onto one side, taking 2 breaths on this side. Pressing the hands into the ground. We'll come up to a tall seat facing the top of your mat. Crossing the legs, hands out to the knees. Inhaling from the base of the spine out to the crown of the head. Exhale into the base of the spine. Inhale to feel the ribcage expand. Exhale to press out the whole breath. Take your intention with you. Come back to it whenever you need to. Set a new one whenever you like. Taking hands to heart center, bowing your head to your chest. Acknowledging the work that you've done for yourself. Your breath, your peace, and all that you are. Namaste.